discussions I've had lately about health. Those of you going to the truck show, you're going to see how unhealthy we all are. We all are. That's my scene. So, 2 years ago I made that video. And what that is a moment where I was frustrated with my health. And I had just gotten a conversation with my wife, and you know, I was inspired, so I did the video. I uploaded it as soon as possible, which, you know, out in Clarksville, it wasn't really good signal. And I proceeded to make changes. And the first change that I made, I refused to use the word keto. It was just a low carb thing. And it was shortly thereafter that I went to the truck show there in Dallas, Texas, and found myself 20 pounds lighter, 20 or 30, I think. And it would be a year later that I do a weigh-in to really see what my weight was. Basically, I went from year to year to show how much weight loss I had. It was a weight loss challenge. And when I look back at those days, it was a hard but really good journey. And you know, so after about 6 months, I started using the term keto. I started annoying everybody close to me. I started to be that guy that was shoving a phone of information in your face, and gotten many discussions, heated discussions with people that just thought I was making a mistake, or, you know, they couldn't fathom what I was doing. But then they were seeing the results, right? And so coincidentally, the GATS, you know, Great American Truck Show in Dallas, was only a couple of months after that. And after I made that video, and I came across one of my followers, his name's Kemosabe, you know, and you know, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he does follow all of us YouTube truckers. He's just a Snyder guy at the time, you know, and he started telling me about this carnivore thing, right? And so it intrigued me, but I was absolutely getting no information from it. It was hard for me to believe that anything like that could be good for you, right? Too much of one thing is never good, right? You know, but what was interesting is that was kind of the same time that I decided to start calling what I was doing keto. And I dove in. I quit sugar cold turkey, no cheats, no nothing. And at that time, I decided that even the cheats or the fake sweeteners was not a good idea. My goal was to get away from anything sweet, regardless if it was real sugar or not. Okay. So fast forward a little bit more, little Viking coach says, hey, let's do these 24-hour fasts on Friday. So I started doing those. And when I got to the point where I was only eating between noon and 6 in the truck, I was shedding weight off like crazy. At the end of the 2 years, actually at the end of the year and a half, I lost 120 pounds. Now, since then, I've gained about, I think my total weight loss was about 140 pounds. Let's see, what was it? Do some math. Math is hard. 380 minus 258. 122 pounds. Sorry, I was off. I don't want to be that guy that lies, right? So I've since then gained about 20 pounds back, and no, about 10 pounds. Yeah, because right now I'm weighing about 278. So minus 2 minus 380. Got it all messed up. Anyways, forget about that math. Anyways, I've gained about 20 pounds back from the lowest weight that I was at. And what did that? Well, I got bored with what I was eating. That was number one. I still remain keto, but then I was like, you know, in order to get other people on board with this keto thing, maybe I can start reintroducing alternative snack foods, such as the keto bars and the Atkins bars and the keto shakes and all the things labeled keto, 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 because people realized that the keto thing was real. I mean, you type in keto transformation on Instagram and you're going to see a lot of really, really good results from thousands of people, myself included. And it was an awesome journey. I loved it. But I started to get bored. I started having my cravings, because this is how addictive sugar is. I was still having cravings even 2 years later. So I thought, well, I'll do the alternatives. I'll do the cheats. I'll prove to people that you can do the cheats and still be successful, right? Well, you know, so those cheats led to other cheats, such as a burrito here and there. Or, okay, I'll go ahead and get this hamburger without the bun like once every other week or so. And, you know, and I found myself, especially during the holidays, having trouble staying away from that. Now, for the most part, I've been able to avoid sugar 90% of the time. You know, if there's a birthday or a special occasion, I might steal a bite. But, you know, it definitely was down to a minimum. But what I found was, during the COVID world and the riot world, I found myself more stressed. I found myself unfocused. I found myself full of anxiety. And once I started to put 2 and 2 together with the diet, you know what? It's because of these cheats. It's because I've lost my way, or I'm straying from the path, I guess is a better term. Because I never went fully off keto, but I would have my cheats that, you know, Dr. Berg would probably just shake his head at, you know, like roll his eyes, right? And in the end, I gained about 20 pounds. My depression was starting to kick in. Stress from external situations, like, you know, the things that I just mentioned, you know, plus the truck was costing me quite a bit of money this past year. And so I realized that, you know what, I need to go back to my roots. I need to go back to my roots. So I went back to intermittent fasting, got rid of all the fake sweets, got rid of all the fake keto crap that's out there. And that's what it is. The keto bread, the keto bars, the slim fast things, the keto fat bombs that are store-bought, those are worthless, because they're throwing a bunch of ingredients that are no better than the other ingredients to the other stuff. And it doesn't kill the whole let's defeat the cravings, right? You know, you don't sit there and like, well, I'm gonna quit smoking and then, you know, smoke clove cigarettes once a month and think that's gonna curb your, you know, desire for cigarettes, right? It's the same thing. This food has been designed to be addictive, okay? So, going back to my conversation with Kemosabe, I met up with him and his wife at Matt's a couple of years ago, and everybody saw my weight loss. That was about when I was 100 pounds lower, and everybody was just, wow, that's amazing, Steve. That's really cool. And I had long conversations with Kemosabe and his wife Erica, who are great people, by the way, excellent people, and they just went through a recent tragedy in their life, and Erica had commented on Facebook about the clarity of eating the keto / carnivore at the time probably kept them both from spiraling down some negative paths because of the tragedy, you know. And so I was craving to feel like this again. I was craving to feel like I did in my video again. I needed to get angry again. I needed to really go back to my roots. So throughout the last year, I've been reading a lot. You know, now there's a lot more information about the carnivore diet, and I stumbled upon across a couple of YouTube channels that have been very informative, and then that YouTube channel leads to another YouTube channel, and next thing you know, my home feed is filled with nothing but carnivore and OMAD and intermittent fasting and ketovore and all these labels, right? All these labels. And then I also read a book called The Obesity Code by Jason Fung, which is really, really will open your eyes on how we think of food as Americans. And the reason why, when you go into any mall, go into any Walmart, go to any truck show, go to any concert event, you're going to see that Americans are not healthy. And they are making trillions upon trillions of dollars to make sure that we never get healthy. And so, you know, there's a lot of good information out there, and there's a lot of bad information out there. So I was very skeptical of the carnivore thing. But then as I came across more and more videos and watching the comments and seeing the results on all the social media. Now, granted, there's a few fake pictures out there, the before and afters, you know, but you kind of gotta know how to spot them. But you know, you look at the face, you look at the skin, you look at the complexion. And so I wanted to take my keto journey a step further. First step is I got rid of all the fake stuff, all the fake sweets, all the, you know, processed stuff. There's a keto bread that my wife makes for me. It's literally egg, almond flour, and that's it, and oil, right? And I'm not even going to do that because I don't want the flour. Because what I've decided to do is I'm going to do 40 days of eating nothing but carnivore, okay? And I'm going to do a video a day or every other day, keeping track of what I'm going through. We're going to go over how I'm feeling. We're going to go over the challenges. We're going to go over that I'm facing as I'm doing them. I'm not going to like record these videos and then a year from now release them. I'm not doing that. I'm going to release them as I go. So if I make 5 days in, and you might see a video of me going, you know what, I'm out, can't do it, right? That shows a bit of honesty, which is really needed in the YouTube universe. And so, and you know, and if I falter a second, you know, this is a way for me to have accountability, right? Because I know that there are people that have texted me, that have talked to me on the phone saying, Steve, I lost weight because of your videos. I lost weight because you're of your inspiration, and that touches me deeply. And so my channel's kind of stagnated, and I thought, you know what, I need to go back to my health. You know, Little Viking Coach has been promoting me a little bit. I need to go back to, number one, what was working, but we're going to take it a step further. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat nothing but meat, eggs, and the only dairy I'm going to have is going to be butter, cream, and maybe cheese. I haven't decided on the cheese yet. The only plant-based thing I'm going to consume is coffee. I have no intentions of getting rid of my coffee. But the ideal of the carnivore diet is, number one, you're eating really clean, especially if you get clean meats, right? Number two, you're getting no carbs whatsoever. Now, Dr. Ken Berry has a video, the 7 dangers of a carnivore diet, and what he does is he debunks every myth that's out there about what people say is bad. You know, carnivore diet's bad, you know. And, you know, and we'll find out. I'll be your guinea pig. I will tell you if it's good or bad based off of my experience. You don't have to trust a doctor who's gone years and years of school and has made his YouTube channel based off of, you know, medical information. You don't need to worry about that. You just have to follow what I do. I'm not a doctor, but I am going to tell you my experience, my individual experience as a truck driver and when I'm at home. In other words, if I'm at home for 3 days, I'm going to still do a video a day and talk about the challenges. And if there are no challenges going on, I'll put a little snippet of information that I've learned recently, because there is a ton of information out there. But I wanted to do 40 days. Why 40 days? Well, 40 days seems to be a symbolic number in the Bible. You know, why not? This could be a religious experience for me, you know, because what it will do is it will really get down to the gritty of things that I already kind of know, but really dig deeper. And it will take a little bit of strength. You know, people are like, well, it must be easy to eat nothing but meat and eggs and bacon. You know, look, it's not that easy, because you can't overdo it. And there is the limitation of the diets. Every single carnivore person I've come across on YouTube, they have like 5 things that they eat. That's it. there's a few variant recipes, but for the most part, it's the same food. So, food lovers, it's going to be difficult. I'm a food lover. I loved it. I love recipes. I love, variety is the spice of life. But, when I go to the restaurant, I tend to order steak and eggs. When I go to, I tend to eat the same things when I go to the Chinese, place, and I tend to eat the same thing if I go to Who Hot and places like that. And that's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to prove that this can be done on the road for a decent price. And I'm going to keep track of the numbers. I downloaded this app that's like a shopping grocery tracker app, and I'm going to keep track of everything I buy related to this diet. If I have to buy a new cooker, that'll be added to the, if I have to replace my fridge, that'll be added to it. And I realize that some people can't cook in their truck, and I also realize that people don't have fridges in their trucks. And so we're gonna play with this. I'm gonna have days where I bring it with me on the road, and then there are days when, let's pretend I couldn't make it to Walmart and I gotta do this 2,400-mile run, right? But anyways, I'm doing a longer run, and I didn't make it to Walmart. So what am I going to do out of the truck stops? How am I going to still hold true to being a carnivore diet? So this is day 1 of the next 40 days. And it may sound extreme, but sometimes something needs to be extreme, and as long as it's healthy for you, sometimes quitting something cold turkey works. I know some people do better. It's kind of like a pool of water if it's cold, right? You could sit there and be the guy that dips his toe in and then puts his feet in, then gets on the first step of the water, and you're like, oh man, this is cold, but then you go down to your knees, and then you get down to your waist, and then you finally get in the water. Some people do better that way. Other people, like, what? Screw it. Cannonball in there and deal with the shock as it happens. And, and boom, they're swimming, right? And I found that the gradual thing works a little bit, but I'm like, okay, put my feet in the water and then jump in. That way I have a little bit of anticipation what I'm going to deal with, but then jump in. And that's how I did the keto thing. I started with just meat and vegetables. I didn't have a whole lot of fat, but whereas keto is more fatty meat. And I didn't avoid potatoes or fruits. Anything natural I didn't avoid. But as time moved on, I'm like, you know what? Let's do this for real. And so what I did was then I started following the keto rules of diet. And some days I was able to go to the Walmart or the grocery store, and other days I had to rely on the truck stops. And I regret not doing enough of those videos. So we're going to try and experiment with that. Now that cameras are more prevalent in everyday life, we're going to go into the truck stop. And now that I know how to do voiceovers, maybe we'll do that too. Where I just like film things at a truck stop and then do a voiceover of what I like and what works and what doesn't work. I'm going to tell you what works. I'm going to tell you what doesn't work for me. Every truck driver situation is different. If you're the kind of guy that spends 3 months out on the road, if you can get to Walmart, that'd be great. If you're the kind of guy that doesn't have a fridge, doesn't have a cooker, or your company doesn't let you cook in the truck, or you're a slip seater so you can't really have a whole lot on you, we're going to deal with that too. We're going to come up with all kinds of ideas. So, with that being said, this is day 1. And so far it's been easy. For breakfast, I had to eat breakfast because here's the other thing I'm challenged. I am dealing with a severe case of poison oak, poison ivy, whatever you want to call it. So, they put me on these steroids, prednisone, which after I took the first dose, which you have to take with food, so I actually had to have breakfast today. And once I read the side effects, I was like, oh, I would have just not filled the prescription had I really read those before I got the prescription filled. So I'm kind of bummed about that because of the side effects, but we're going to soldier on. Today I've had steak and eggs, and then I had chicken liver for lunch, and then I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner because there's something going on this evening, and we might be going out to eat. But again, that's a challenge. I'm going to prepare for that challenge. The idea is no carbs, 0 carbs. Now, here's where eating out is going to be a challenge. McDonald's, if you look up just the burger patty, not the bun, but just the burger patty, you will find that there's 4 grams of carbs and 1 gram of fiber. Why is that? Because the filler that they put in those hamburgers. So the cleaner you can eat, the better, right? So the idea is to be 5 grams or less of carbs, but preferably 0, and that's the idea. So 40 days is enough to have the ups and the downs and the challenges that, you know, there's a lot of challenges socially, there's a lot of challenges physically, and then there's definitely a lot of challenges mentally. And we're going to go over every single inch of this journey, okay? And so I'm going to try to put out a video every day, even if it's a quick 30-second, hey, you know, things are good, this wasn't a challenge today, da-da-da-da-da. Or, you know, there might be a 20-minute video, you know, griping about this, that, or the other. But I'm going to try to do a video every single day. So, with that being said, 40 days from now is the 26th of June. And that's on a Saturday. And we will do a live feed based off just this carnivore thing. I'll probably be going live before then, you know, that might count for the day's events, but a live event. But regardless, I want you guys to take this journey with me, whether you just watch as a spectator or you want to participate. And if you want to participate, let me know. We'll start a group. We'll get social media to work as a good thing instead of a bad thing, and we'll post our results. So at this point in time, I think I weighed in at 280 pounds at the doctor's office today because I had to see the doctor about this crap. And we'll see what happens. But starting from here on out, it's going to be 40 days of nothing but the carnivore diet. It's going to be meat, eggs, butter, ghee, which is a form of butter, and heavy whipping cream. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Coffee. So that's it. That's all I'm eating. Is it going to get boring? Yeah. Is it going to be hard? Yeah. But you know what? I need a challenge. And if you want to make changes, you're going to need some challenges too. So with that being said, hit like, hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time here. If you're interested in some death metal that I've played on before, go to bandcamp.com, type in apnea1. And that will get you my music, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Let's support each other, you know, and if you don't want to do carnivore, that's fine. If you're doing the keto thing or the ketovore or whatever label that you want to put something on there, let me know in the comments. Let's show our progress together, because if you watch any of these keto or carnivore videos, look at the comments and how many people are just have all these positive results, and the evidence is out there. So, you know, the government and the corptocracy that we have today has poisoned the well, and so let's get away from that. So with that being said, peace.